So how can you know when you're leveling? Okay, well, there are a few different ways. The first is experiential, which is if you find that something is working on girls up to a certain caliber or a certain level very well and not working with hotter girls, then you're probably leveling. Or more likely what you're going to experience is just that your game in general is working with girls of a lower caliber and not with girls of a higher caliber. If you notice that's the case, start looking for behaviors that may be leveling you. And specifically start thinking, what has worked for me in the past that may or may not be working for me now? What specifically may be gimmicky about what I've done in the past? Because leveling behaviors are coming from a situation where you're trying to push a certain button to make it work rather than gaining attraction or gaining comfort through conveying your unique personality. Okay, so anytime you feel that you're using a gimmick rather than being yourself, i.e. if you're acting differently with a new girl that you've met or a girl you're trying to impress than you would with a girl who's already your girlfriend or you would with someone who's already your friend, then there's a good chance that you are leveling. Also, if you're ever using a technique and you're like crossing your fingers and hoping it works, because if it doesn't work, you don't know what else you'll do to follow it up, you don't know how else you're going to get that result, that means you're relying too much on a gimmick or a technique, and you need to look for a more robust way, a more like sort of general, thorough way to convey your personality and convey attractive qualities, okay? So anytime you're doing something that's gimmicky, that's a good indication that may be a leveling behavior, and what you want to do is try and find alternate solutions for that. Ideally, in your game, you should actually have several ways to get through any particular juncture. So rather than just have one opener that you rely on to open, you should have a range of openers that work. Rather than have one line that gets her like to be emotionally reactive or to hook, you should have a range of different behaviors, and they should come congruently from you and congruently from the attractive man, which is what we're going to talk extensively about later on, is exactly what are those attractive man qualities, okay? But for now, anytime you are getting a result up to a certain level and not beyond it, think I might be leveling. And as far as your behaviors, anytime you're doing something that's gimmicky, try hard. If you ever feel like you're chasing a result or you're chasing the girl or trying very hard to impress the girl, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, try and find a way to flip it and get her impressing you. That's kind of the holy grail of game, and that's what you're looking for, is a game where you're not chasing and trying, but you're motivating the girl to chase and try. The more that's present in your game, the less leveling your game is going.